Welcome back to more Let's Play Plants vs. Zombies. Last time, we started survival mode, trying our hand at both the daytime front lawn and the nighttime front lawn. Both went fairly well. I ended up telling some stories, reminiscing about ads on television and watching TV, of all things. It gets a little funny when you do the same monotonous stuff and you just think about the weirdest things to talk about. Still, survival pool. Let's do a new game because again, I don't know why it has old data from an old save that no longer exists. Again, it's been a weird theme throughout this Let's Play, is that the shadows of the past playthroughs have haunted it. I don't know why. It's kind of interesting to see it, though, huh? So, our pool time levels are going to be fairly chock full between sunflowers, cattails, and melon poults. Frankly, I love to see it. Now, seeing as we are going to be quite greedy, let's bring a potato mine, squash, and kelp to keep ourselves safe early on and get set up. Again, starting with our sunflower, I think I want to get cattails in that pool as quickly as possible, because one alone can do incredible work. So I'm going to try to get 3 sunflowers as quick as I can. And then get our first lily pad. And yes, I am going to be trying to get sunflowers. But I want that cattail real bad, because with just one, that'll save us so much effort. So the more sunflowers, the better. Same tactic as before. Luckily, with where we place the potato mine and how quickly, it should be nice and recharged for the next zombie. Put them right there. Start placing our sunflower. I am tempted to go for a double sunflower straight up, but I think it's wise to invest in the base ones and then worry a little later. So once we get that first cattail, we'll actually have some really good defense. Because now, the zombie up here shouldn't be a big problem, and we might not even use the potato mine here. Which, not that it's a bad thing, it can serve as a later defense. But worst case, we'll just use our shovel, get rid of it. Not too worried. Get our first double sunflower, just because it feels good. I'm not sure if one cattail can deal with a conehead, but I feel pretty confident that it can. Yeah, it certainly will. Getting our lily pads, just because future cattail generations would love to be there. Second cattail. And already, we are off to a phenomenal start. I almost want to compensate and go 4 sunflowers, but that feels like it's overkill. We'll start getting melons down. Of course, more lily pads. But so far, so good. I'm feeling pretty darn good about things. Because the cattails home in and destroy pretty much the nearest zombie, I can be a lot more imprecise with where I place plants, which is both a good and a bad thing. Good because it means my mistakes aren't as final and permanent as they might have otherwise been. Bad because I might get complacent. So we'll just have to keep an eye on things and see how it goes. But cattails are just some of the best plants in the game, hands down. So I feel fairly strongly that with them, the pool levels are going to be nothing to worry about. Now, I've talked a big game about all of these normal levels, and once we get to the hard stages, I I feel that's where we're actually going to have the most fun, just because it's really going to test how greedy we can get and just how much we can push our plants to. So I am excited for that. Cattail, melon. I've been a little too lazy down here. That might be or not. Nope, I got him. Perfect. Cattails coming in to save the day yet again. Honestly, grab an ice melon. So, for first flag, I think that is already a phenomenal start. Let's just grab twin sunflowers, lily pads, cattails, melons, ice melons. Do some tall nut. I'm gonna say some squash for emergencies. See the kelp too. That could be pretty helpful. And let's do... Oh, no, not torchwood. Pumpkin. There we go. That's what I meant to grab. I think that is a fairly good plan. Keep placing our lily pads in the water. Because I think I want, like, 8 cattails. I feel that's a good number. Again, feels like it's a good number. I guess we'll actually see. So ideally, I really want to get another ice melon. Our next cattail's coming up, though, so that's pretty good. And luckily, we have all the basic defenses we could ever need on each row. So, we're doing quite well in most regards. Perfect. Ice melon is coming up. Right down. And otherwise, I think I will put 2 lily pads here, just because I feel I want to put tall nuts there to keep our cattails safe. I just have a feeling that that's a wise decision. Plus, again, I think 8 is a good number. I could have done 10, and that may have pleased the brain a little more than 8, just because 10 is a nice number. But, I don't know. Grab some melons, grab another cattail. I mean, so far, so good. Things are operating smoothly. Figure once we get the sun, we can get our next ice melon. If we have enough, we can throw it on our next walnut too, just like so. Looks like our next double sunflower's coming up. I'm super excited. Perfect. Yeah, see, that's exactly why I wanted to put that right there. He even gave me a diamond for thinking ahead. What a nice guy. Sun, keep an eye out for coins, because we like our coins. And get our next cattail. Another melon. And we are frankly sitting very pretty. I don't know why my throat got a little sore there for a minute. That was odd. Perhaps I'm just choked up at how well our defenses are doing. So let's see. Twin sunflower, lily pad, cattail. Grab us some melons. Tall nut. Honestly, considering magnet shrooms, I think I'm gonna go for it. And then let's say a pumpkin. Just because that quick magnet shroom might want some defense. I feel that's wise. Obviously, I'd like to keep placing our tall nuts where I can. In fact, let's get our first magnet online, shall we? There we go. Feels good. Double sunflower, perfect. Next cattail should be coming right up. Perfect. I am loving it. pole vaulter scares me a little, but only somewhat. Perfect. And those footballers without their helmets, not that bad. A second melon down there on the 5th row. And then I think... Honestly, I think I will do a whole nother... like a full column of walnuts here, and then a full column of magnet shrooms. I think that's a good idea. Keyword think. Don't know, but I think it is. And let's do, I guess, some melons behind the magnets, just to really keep them safe. Makes them feel better. Plenty of money, love to see it. Because we all know that Plants vs. Zombies has some very expensive upgrades. Sure, ice melon down there, why not? And I mean, at this point, I think we've got ourselves a very solid defense. Also, it's funny, because last episode, I mentioned considering getting up and just walking away from the game, seeing if our defense was as solid as it could be, and just letting the game run. The one fatal flaw with that idea is that you'd hit this screen, and then it would just be done, because it wouldn't continue. So, while it is a very fun idea, it's unfeasible, just because you couldn't let it continue by itself. I guess you could set up, like, some sort of extremely slow auto-clicker that clicks the screen once every, like, I don't know, like 5 minutes or something to let it auto-go, but that seems like a lot more effort than it's worth for a silly throwaway gag. But, hey, who knows? I still think it'd be a funny thing to do. Will I do it? Probably not. But hey, it's fun to consider it, right? Get more melons. Collecting all that money. Very nice. Another melon down there. And then we're pretty much good to go. Get some ice melons. The double sunflower. We might actually fully upgrade all our sunflowers. I don't think we've done that before with how short the survivals are. Go. It does also make me curious what next previous save file screenshot we'll see. Because some of them actually looked quite interesting. Like, I think at one of them I had starfruit. In another, I had torchwoods and repeaters. Like, I was doing something real different. So maybe I was just messing around and seeing what worked best. I really don't know, because it was so long ago that that save existed. Because for the LP, I did delete the old saves. That way it looked nice and clean, and you could see what it looks like when you first buy the game and start playing it. That's one of the things I like to do with my LPs, is keep it as honest and real as I can. So that way it's not like, oh, you know, you're seeing an edited experience that looks really nice and is better to watch, but will detract from when you play the game and you realize, oh, I have to do all this stuff that was edited away, right? That's one of the biggest things I try to go for, is it showing you, the player, if you were to play this game, this is the experience you are going to get. I like the honesty of it. And yes, while there are points that I do edit out, it's usually small stuff that is really not worth keeping. For instance, meeting you somewhere else, or, you know, editing out a fight, like a random encounter. Some stuff like that is just for sheer time equity, saying like, oh, you know, there was a fight there, you've seen it before, you know what it is, right? But some things, like, I think a big one that sticks out in my mind, and always will, is the Dratini and Dragonair in Pokemon Leaf Green. Trying to hunt every Pokemon in that Safari Zone for the Pokedex was a doozy, that's for sure. It was a bit of a nightmare. And I think I had a lot of fun with doing the little montage of every time we saw it and it broke out. Or however I ended up editing that. I kind of forget right now. But I think things like that are fun just to show you that, hey, this is frustrating. And like in the episode when I went over, like, I've been at this for several hours. You know, like, ugh. It's things like that, you know, I still try to show you to some degree so you understand what went into doing what we have done. It's probably one of my biggest points of doing Let's Plays is, again, I love showing off games for their good and their bad. Not every game is, you know, as well made as the other, or as well put together, or has as good of whatever in it, depending on what you're playing. Games are so diverse and wonderful, but they've all got their issues too. Same with Plants vs. Zombies. First pool time level, down. Next one, coming right up. Gatling repeaters. Interesting. You won't be seeing those in this Let's Play, at least me using them, but hey, kinda cool. So let's see. We have our aquatic mushrooms, which is quite interesting. I think I will still go with our sunflowers, even though it will be a bit of a detriment. We want our lily pads and cattails. I want the melons, but I also want to bring the puff shrooms. That doesn't leave us with a whole lot of options, does it? Still, with them, we won't need potato mines, nor are we going to need these, well, lanterns I feel are kind of a must, and maybe we'll use pumpkins to keep them around. I think that's a good strategy. So as you can see, that fog starts aggressive. So these nighttime levels are a little more difficult because of that. So let's try to get our little puff shrooms here down as quickly as possible.
The zombies are coming.
I mean, realistically, we should have enough down quick enough to where they can show me where the zombie is. Alright, he is this row. So placing this puff shroom, this row should be safe for a moment. Just taking a guess, putting the next one there. We're gonna kinda pick and choose our battles. Hoping the zombie was somewhere up here, not on this row, but we will see. Alright, should be good. Get our aqua shrooms going. Now, frankly, I still really want to follow the mantra and idea of getting those cattails in that pool as quickly as possible. But it's going to be tricky with it, A, choosing to use sunflowers, and B, it being a nighttime level. Still, I think we'll be okay for a while. Because with the puff shrooms, you really have a lot of leeway on these levels, and I like that. So we got 6 sunflowers down. Let's say, let's get our first lily pad. Come up there, just because it's a cone head. In fact, I can find it now. No, just focus on the sunflowers. His noble sacrifice will not be forgotten. Keep the sunflower production up. And frankly, because of the puff shrooms, I really can just keep continuing to put sunflowers down while I wait for the sun to get above for a cattail. Thanks to the sunflower cooldown, so I'm not too worried about it. I figure we'll get this next sunflower and then do the cattail. There we go. Okay. Now that we have our cattail, I think we're going to pretty much be just fine. Not terribly worried. Ooh, that's a conehead. That's a little rough. Still should be alright. Honestly, I feel getting the planterns and their pumpkins is probably the next biggest idea we want. Get our first one, the pumpkin. And I mean, even just the one plantern right there already reveals 5 of the 6 rows, which is really, really good. So I feel pretty strongly about that. That is, in fact, a very good investment. I am sad for our sea shrooms here because they're probably going to get eaten alive. But they bought us time to get the cattails, so I feel it is well worth it. We also have both of our planterns down, which is good. 2 double sunflowers, which is amazing. Again, sorry, sea shroom, you will be missed, but you're doing so good for us. So now that we can see, we can really start opening up our strategy a bit more. I think next goal is getting melons and probably tall nuts. I think that's a good idea. Let's grab these, get our melons going, grab the puff shroom and sea shroom, tall nut. Do I want more planterns? I don't think I do. I think I want magnet shrooms. I think that's the play. Because I saw that ladder zombie, and I don't like that. So what I want to do is get another lily pad.
Coming.
And I think we're going to put magnet shrooms up there like so. And do tall nuts, just so that way we will have defenses for our planterns more so than anything, because I figure the cattails will cover the pool just fine. I'm not worried about bucketheads getting in the pool at all. So I figure good defenses is the way to go here. The cattails do their job. Everything should come out pretty. There we go. Perfect. Now, I think I should start saving for a little more offense. Just because having some melons is a good idea. Start getting rid of those guys, because frankly, they're not doing anything. Start with melon. I almost just want to make a winter melon right away, but it should be fine. Not too worried. I should be using mushrooms to keep the pumpkins as alive as I can. While we're waiting for more tall nut defense. But I think until the tall nut actually runs out, or the pumpkin runs out, I probably don't need to worry about placing a tall nut. So I'm not too worried. Already, I think these pool levels have been so much more interesting than any of the daytime levels. Just because of the addition of some of the better plants in the game. I think overall the pool time levels are my favorite, just because you have the most lanes, and it's so much more interesting. Melon, probably should have got the next cattail, but I think the melon's fine. Wow, that tall nut is suffering. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we need some melons down there. That is for sure. Ironic, as he buys a cattail. Could repair him, but I feel more strongly that I should defend the plant turn. Just because that's a bigger investment. But I think we're doing fairly well. Alright, let's get that final melon down there. And start working on our melon pulps. Becoming ice melons, or winter melon. I don't know why I keep mixing that name up. Alright, so far so good. I think we are sitting pretty. Twin sunflower, lily pads, get the melons, tall nut, magnet shroom. I can't justify bringing the puff shrooms anymore. They're just not that useful. Honestly, maybe some pumpkins. I think that's a good idea. The sea shrooms, I think, are absolutely justifiable, just because that's an extra layer of defense for free that is fairly good. So those I will take. That. Oh golly, I see they ate my walnut down here. That's no good. Oh. Okay. That is really no good. I have to consider my game plan a little more carefully, knowing that there's that breach. Get our first ice melon down there just to help it out. I see that up here is also struggling a little. I think it'll be okay. That back there. Next lily pad's going. I think we're gonna be just fine. A little scary for a moment, but it's good. Ooh, see? I wanted that pumpkin. Had a feeling it would be useful. If we get our next walnut available, I'll start placing them there. Yep. Realistically, I think it's just the fact I'm relying on the cattails a little too much and not getting enough melons. Alright. Every row should have a freeze effect now, potentially. Here on in, I will worry about more melons. Alright, let's go with this row, just because he's cracked. We should have more melons well on the way. And another cattail, too. Perfect. Alright, now I'm feeling real confident. Good sun. Perfect. Oh, that's the stuff I don't like seeing. That makes me feel I really should put two lily pads here. And some walnuts. Probably going to be for the best. I'll get right on that, so I don't go forgetting. Because the worst feeling in the world is when a zombie pops up and eats your cattail. That is just... ugh, I hate it. Ooh, balloon zombies. I believe the cattails pop them, right? Yep, shoot down balloon zombies. Okay, so we're good to go on that. Okay. Had me worried there for a moment, game. I think I've planted all the cattails that I need. So let's just stock up on all of the fairly standard plants. I don't think I'll need anything else, really. Maybe a kelp and a squash. That feels correct. Because at this point, the sea shrooms and the puff shrooms, they're kind of whatever. I'm not crazy about them. Again, really good for early game. But that's also why I like survival mode, is that it lets you swap out your loadout. So if I had to have them for the whole time, A, I'd probably think a lot harder, and B, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because you'd probably be going out of your way to use them a lot more. But I figure for this, we can get away with what we have already. Double sunflower, very nice. Another ice melon down. Ideally, we'll get one more down here. I think we're going to start slowly replacing all these mushrooms, too. Just because they're really not doing a ton. And we'll keep our eyes out on walnuts so far. Really, only this one's taking a ton of damage. So, good. That. See that coin over there? Yoink. You like Cubus coin? Bitcoin, too. I will take that. I would say straight to the bank, but frankly, straight to Crazy Dave seems more apt. Double sunflower. And I am feeling gosh darn protected. Put that on the magnet shroom just to feel a little better. On that pesky balloon zombie. Which luckily too, because he was over the pool, it just outright gets rid of him. Because he can't swim. So that is really nice. Again, cattails. Super awesome. Love these guys. I'll be very sad when we're on the roof and I cannot use them. At the very least, though, the watermelon strategy will continue to work, so that's good. Get rid of that, grab our final melon. And I am feeling darn good. Ideally, we'll fill out our repertoire of big ol' twin sunflowers. Pogo zombie. Annoying, but not a huge deal. I guess lily pads, squash, kelp. Ice shroom just in case. Sure. Why not? I will say, we have gotten a ton of value out of these planterns. They have easily been one of our best investments. And I mean, seriously, for a total of what? 300 sun for the planterns and their pumpkins? That's a darn good investment. Can't say I'm disappointed in it. In fact, I'll start putting pumpkins on our tall nuts, just because that makes me feel better, too. I mean, worst case, could do this, too. Nice little freeze effect. Not that we need it, but it's cool to see it. At least on something other than Dr. Edgar Zomboss. Because while I love DPSing him, he's not here yet. So, you know, and I say yet, we're not going to see him in the survival mode. It would be kind of neat, but I'm kind of happy they didn't. But they're like, no, you're done with him after you've done the revenge with him. Again, makes for a good minigame. So, I appreciate it as is. Otherwise, I think this is pretty much a done deal. The pumpkin. Ooh, diamond, perfect. We actually have quite a bit of money. I feel maybe, depending on how much money we have, we might do some Zen Garden stuff at the end of all of the combat, I guess, of the tower defense of this game. I feel that would be fairly appropriate. To bask in our victory over the zombies and just take part in some actual gardening. Could be fun, you know? Could be fun. Ooh! The game seems to agree. Ice shroom. Just to really guarantee that victory. I will say, Ice shroom, I think I fairly underrated in this Let's Play. It's a darn good screen-wide freeze. It's really good. It's only held back by the fact that it's a nighttime-only plant, but on night levels, it's really great. So, I do like using it where I can. There we have our last trophy for the normal pool levels. Very nice. That means next time we play Plants vs. Zombies, we'll start tackling the roof and probably the hard mode versions. As always, I'm Bread. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.